Hello everyone and welcome to another royal reading. We're going to be reading on a topic that I have read on several times already, but it keeps coming up, and the cards lately in other readings, other subjects that I have been reading on have been showing me over and over and over that the Harkles are in a financial hole, and it doesn't take a genius to figure that one out, of course. There has been this very bizarre story about Harry suing the British government to try and get security reinstated for himself at some level. Everyone's speculating that this is really about money being tight. It showed up in the reading that I did yesterday on the topic. There is, of course, that bizarre legal letter that they wrote to I think it was the Times newspaper, about the article they wrote on the fact that the Archibald Foundation only got $50,000 in donations. Their house is on the market. They're selling up. And so it all kind of stacks up to the idea that they really are low on funds, and of course the rumours that they are looking at buying back in the UK, that they are reaching out to Prince Charles and offering their services in the wake of Prince Andrew's disgrace. The royals are a bit thin on the ground at the moment. The Queen is obviously very frail, and the Harkles are now offering their services, allegedly. So all of these things stacking up to say that they are in a pickle. And the Star newspaper, which is not a reliable source at all, but always good for some jokey headlines and things like that, says no private jets, no parties, and a $480,000 credit card debt. So not only are they broke, allegedly, they may also actually be in debt, and that's quite a tense situation to be finding themselves in. A lot of people, of course, having financial problems at the moment because of the global situation that we have all been going through for at least the past 2 years. I know that times are tough for a lot of people. Sympathy to anyone out there who may be watching this now or in the future who is having a hard time financially. I know that there are people very close to me in a lot of difficulty at the moment, and I know how stressful it is and difficult. But the Harkles, really, I don't have any sympathy for them. Got themselves into this pickle, and now hoping that the taxpayer is going to pull them out, seemingly. So let's have a look. Celtic Cross coming up with the old Rider-Waite Tarot. Let's see what's going on. Excuse me, losing my voice as I start putting the cards out, and it doesn't bode well for the Harkles. And I had to pause for a little bit of a cough there. We have another windy day. Whenever it's windy, it's very dusty, and everybody starts sneezing and coughing, and underlying energy is the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. It doesn't get clearer than that, really. That the the gods are against the Harkles at the moment, and I am laughing. It's nasty of me to laugh, but really, as I say, there are people that I know are in so much financial trouble that is not of their own making. It's just the world is just so difficult at the moment. But the Harkles, the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, bad luck, things going against them, things not working out the way that they imagined they would. They are in trouble, that is for sure. Major arcana, and they're going through a cycle of very bad luck and feeling that everything is against them. Whatever they touch turns to the opposite of gold. So the heart of the matter, and it is a duplicate energy with the Three of Wands in reverse. It is a bit of a Wheel of Fortune's energy in reverse. I can't speak. Are we in Mercury retrograde? I haven't been looking at my ephemeris lately, been busy, but it has that Mercury retrograde feel. Must be. If not now, then close. Astrologers, please chime in the comments. Three of Wands in reverse. That is your ships not coming in, your ships sinking, your ships going down, your ventures, your plans, your attempts to expand and grow business absolutely failing. And you're standing there watching, nothing's coming in, nothing at all is succeeding. That is the Three of Wands in reverse. All those plans and schemes have come to nothing. And the challenge for the Harkles right now is to get out of this mess that they have made for themselves. The Eight of Swords in reverse, the trap that they have made for themselves. I think they're both pretty afraid right now of what is happening in their lives, because the Eight of Swords is a card of fear, of not being able to see clearly, feeling that you're in a worse situation than you actually are, that if you just were able to take that blindfold off you, you would see quite easily you could walk out of that trap and be safe and free. It is the card in reverse, so their challenge is to actually see a way clear, a way out of this mess that they have got themselves into. And there are ways, of course, that I think the word sorry would help. If they were able to say that word and genuinely mean it, then that might help. Always a good place to start when you've messed up. It's to apologize. And people have always said, readers long in the past, psychics and things like that, when I first started watching this mess, they saw an apology coming up from Prince Harry in the distant future, a very public apology. And perhaps that apology may be forthcoming at some stage, who knows? Rather than that book, an apology would help. But let's see, the hidden energy, are they really in debt to the tune of $480,000, according to the Star newspaper? I think it's much worse than that. I've got the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Ten of Pentacles in reverse is big money, big debt, allegedly tarot reading, entertainment purposes. Just my opinion. But my opinion is, with the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, that they are in a big financial hole and a huge mess. It does look as if they owe money, and lots of it. Ten of Pentacles, the maximum pentacles you can possibly owe. They have maxed those credit cards. They have mortgaged that house to the hilt, and oh dear, nothing's coming in. So what is their focus right now? Ah dear, really. Even I, who don't have much sympathy for them, or any sympathy for them, I feel a bit sick when I look at this card, the Star in reverse. Desperate, hopeless, absolutely, that's their focus at the moment. They're not stars, quite literally, they are not stars. If they ever were stars, they are now fallen stars. Their fortunes are in reverse. We've seen it with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. They don't have any hope. They don't have any prospects. They don't have any star power. They don't have anything lined up to save them. Those deals are not working out. Netflix, Spotify, all the rest of those things that they've got. The book. Apparently more overtures from the royal family to please hold off with publishing it until after the Jubilee. The Queen in very frail health. I'm going to be reading on that next. Oh dear, Harkles, two major arcana of real despair and really feeling that the world is against them and that they are out of alignment, spiritual alignment. They're out of touch with their souls, with their purpose, with their divine purpose. They really have sold their souls for money, I think. Ten of Pentacles in reverse. And now they are seemingly in the pockets of people, possibly dodgy people. Prince Andrew been down that road. Where did that end up? The past. What's been going on in the past? Page of Wands. Well, this is the new exciting adventure that they went on, the Page of Wands. Very naive energy, very young and foolish energy, immature energy, hopeful, optimistic. I can go out, I can go to America, I can make lots of money. Bit of a travel vibe to this, journeying, being excited about new things, learning new things, good news, communicating, probably all those emails to and fro. And yes, come to America and we will make your dreams come true. In the future, how are they going to respond to this mess? And it clearly is a mess from these cards. They really are in big trouble. How are they going to be responding? And The Ace of Pentacles, I'm tongue-tied because so many thoughts are crowding in at the same time. It happens sometimes when I do these readings. And Ace of Cups is a new emotional start. It's babies, also pregnancies. It can be a kind of apology, holding your hand out with that cup of love, offering that cup of love to someone with a bit of a sorry attached to it. It's in the reverse. So whatever they are going to be doing, reaching out to people across the ocean, there is that ocean in the background. Well, it's a lily pond, but it's an ocean too. With that dove of peace that's in that Ace of Cups, whatever reaching out they are doing, and allegedly it has already started, it's going to be rebuffed. It's not going to be received very well. It's probably going to be ignored, silent treatment. Don't phone us, we'll phone you. Or phone calls just not being answered. That energy of very sad, very upset, trying their best to milk the situation, to play on people's emotions, but not succeeding with that. I don't think anybody's going to listen, anybody's going to care. Probably the few people who did listen in the past and did care in the past have been given very strict instructions not to listen, not to respond, not to feel sorry for them, and not to fall for it in future. Interesting. So how is Harry handling this mess? We're going to look at them individually now. How is Harry handling this mess? Well, he's still charging about on that horse. The Page of Wands has now become the Knight of Wands. So he started out in that very juvenile energy of got a lot to learn, big exciting adventure. Off he goes, packed his little suitcase, off he went. And now he has matured a little bit, but probably a feeling that he is more important than he actually is with that Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is a bit hot-headed, a bit impetuous, a bit egotistical, and charging about rather ineffectually. The Knight of Wands, here, there, everywhere, rushing about. He does seem to be rushing about for better up, and popping up here, there, and everywhere for them. There is talk that he's going to be popping up in the UK. He is popping up certainly in the law courts in the UK. So he's got lots that he's busy with. He hasn't given up yet. Even though this is all absolutely terrible over here, he certainly hasn't given up. He is still busy with his various ventures, with his various plans and schemes. There is the red-headed man on that horse, the prince. The knight is the prince, and a little bit impetuous, a little bit foolish, a little bit unreliable. People kind of rolling their eyes when he phones, and oh, not him again, with another harebrained scheme. And do we really have to listen to it? That is what coming off that card. How is the lady wife, Meghan Markle? How is she handling her fall from grace? Oh my word. That is a much more realistic view of the situation. Giggle, giggle. The Knight of Wands still really hasn't got a clue. I don't think he probably understands what a credit card is. Just a plastic thing that, you type out the last 3 digits on the back and the date and whatever, and you can buy anything you like. What a wonderful thing. But she knows. She is under no illusion about the state of affairs in Montecito, the Five of Pentacles. It's the card of ruin, the card of exile, the card of catastrophe, calamity, being cast out, being wandering, sick and broken and poverty-stricken, with no hope of finding a place of shelter, a rich man to sidle up to and bat her fake eyelashes with all that eyelash glue, and hope that he won't notice her extra large feet. So there she goes, off into the wilderness, into the blizzard, into the cold, leading him behind. He always there with that sort of a broken look about him, and not physically broken, but certainly he has got issues. I think it's quite well documented that he has got problems, and not just mental health problems, but developmental issues. So he's being towed along behind by the woman who has turned grey in this picture from worry and woe and all the rest of it. And there, behind that lovely stained glass windows with all the pentacles in it, is the royal family, not answering, not taking the calls, not caring anymore. You reach a stage, I think, when in a situation like this where you just don't care anymore. You have to harden your heart in order to protect yourself. And so, hopes and fears for the Harkles in this calamitous situation. The Two of Pentacles in reverse, which is the card I keep getting, which is what prompted me to do this reading again. They are worried that they are not going to be able to make ends meet. This card has taken on a very particular energy and a very particular meaning for me in these readings recently. And it is normally about trying to balance situations, trying to prioritize, trying to find an equilibrium in your life and not be overstretched. But now it's a very particularly overstretched resources. They are worried, because it's in the reverse, that they are going to be overwhelmed by debt. They just are not going to be able to manage to pay the bills, to allocate enough, pay this one off. It's that kind of situation people get into when they get a new credit card to pay off the old one. You know, borrow here to pay there. There is a better saying, better worded way of that. Something from Peter to pay Paul, I think. They're in that situation. So they are borrowing from somewhere and they are paying somewhere else, and that never ends well. Even when your father is Prince Charles and your grandmother is one of the wealthiest, if not the wealthiest women in the world. And still you can manage to end in financial ruin, as Prince Andrew is finding out, and it seems Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are finding out. She does seem to have realized. He is still blissfully unaware of how bad things really are. And the outcome for the Harkles, oh dear, really, this is just a terrible reading. The Ten of Swords. It's the Ten of Swords in reverse, and in the light of all the other cards in this reading, I'm not going to read it as one can sometimes read this card in reverse as being, well, you've hit rock bottom. There is the sun rising there in the background, and when the card flips over, those 10 swords fall out and you totter up, you rise from the dead and you start over and you start to claw your way back up. For me, this Ten of Swords in reverse means that there is no hope for them. They cannot get themselves out of this mess. This is ruin. This is absolute ruin. It's dishonor. It is reputational ruin. It is all those bad things. It's going to be very public. Everyone's going to know about it. Everyone's going to see it. They're not going to be rescued. Nobody cares about them anymore. Now I think everybody is just waiting for that final collapse. The royal family, I don't think, going to be picking up the pieces, not in public. They may be behind closed doors, find a little place for them to stay. Allegedly, Prince Andrew may end up at Frogmore Cottage. So who knows where the Harkles will end up, or at least one half of the Harkles, when he does fall off this horse and crash to the ground and come to his senses, if he ever comes to his senses. But it does not look good for the Harkles. Financially, it's getting worse, if anything. That's the reading. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one.